Hey everybody, it's Craig with Smartphoneenvy. We got a great face-off for us today. Samsung's Galaxy S2 on AT&T versus another AT&T big-time contender, the brand new Atrix 2 from Motorola. First up, I want to thank the folks over at Best Buy Mobile for supplying me with this Atrix 2. If you're in need of a smartphone, make sure you stop by. See the people at Best Buy Mobile. All right, let's kick off our face-off. Samsung's Galaxy S2 on AT&T weighs in at 121.9 grams. It is the lighter of the two. Sports a 4.3-inch Super AMOLED Plus capacitive display with a resolution of 480 by 800. Upper left-hand corner, you've got a 2-megapixel front-facing camera for video calls, and below the display, you've got 4 touch-sensitive keys: main menu key, home key, back key, and search key. On the back is an 8-megapixel camera, autofocus LED flash, video capture 1080p, and the battery is a 1650 milliamp hour battery rated at 8 hours of talk time. Up on top is a microphone as well as a 3.5mm headphone jack. On the right hand side is a power and lock key. On the bottom, the other microphone and micro USB port, and on the left hand side is the volume rocker. The phone speaker is on the back in the lower right hand corner. Alright, Motorola Atrix 2 weighs in at 147 grams. Sports a 4.3-inch TFT capacitive QHD Res display, 540 by 960. Offers Gorilla Glass. Actually, both of them offer Gorilla Glass. Has a front-facing VGA camera center left, and below the display, again, 4 touch-sensitive keys: main menu key, home key, back key, and search key. On the back, again, you've got an 8-megapixel camera with autofocus LED flash. Video capture, again, is 1080p. The battery, 1785 milliamp hour battery. Better rating, 8 hours and 50 minutes of talk time. Up on top, power and lock key, microphone, 3.5mm headphone jack. On the right-hand side, volume up and down, as well as dedicated camera key. On the bottom is nothing, and on the left-hand side, you've got the HDMI out, as well as the micro USB port. All right, let's get these back to the home screens. As far as processors, on the Galaxy S2 from AT&T, it has the 1.2 GHz dual-core Exynos processor from Samsung. On the Atrix 2, you've got the 1 GHz dual-core Tegra 2 processor. Both offer, not both, the Galaxy S2 offers 16 gigabytes of internal storage. The Atrix 2 offers 8 gigabytes of internal storage. Both have 1 gigabyte of RAM. They both offer Wi-Fi 802.11a, b, g, and n, support for DLNA, HDMI out. On the Galaxy S2, you need an adapter through the micro USB port. Galaxy S2 offers Bluetooth version 3.0 with support for high-speed data transfer. Atrix 2 Bluetooth version 2.1 with support for A2DP. Both offer GPS with support for AGPS. Both phones can be used as Wi-Fi hotspots. Operating system on the Galaxy S2 is Android 2.3.4 Gingerbread. On the Atrix 2, it's Android 2.3.5 Gingerbread. As far as user interface, on the Galaxy S2, it's Samsung's TouchWiz 4.0, and on the Atrix 2, it's Moto Blur. All right, next up, let's run the Quadrant Standard Benchmark test on both, and we're off. Got a good clean start. Let it run all the way through so you can get a good look at both of the displays. You've got the frame rates and frames per second lower left-hand corner. Having some issues getting through the database. There we go. The build quality on the Atrix 2 is very nice. The original Atrix, the back was very slick, and the new one's got a nice texture coating on it. Feels very, very solid in your hand. A little bit thicker than the Galaxy S2. All right, one down. And on the Galaxy S2 came back with a score of 2839. And we've got the Atrix 2. Came back with a score of, looks like 2642. So our Quadrant Standard Benchmark test winner was the Galaxy S2. Next up, since we're comparing a couple AT&T hands, let's run our speedtest.net and see how we do. Again, I've got them both running off Los Angeles server. And we're off and running on both. And it looks like our Atrix 4G is definitely going to take it first round. I'll run a couple. And upload, they look about, yeah, looks like the GS2 is going to be a little quicker on the upload speeds. Download definitely, what, 3 to 1 for the Atrix 4G. All right, let's try one more. And again, the Atrix 4G, no problem getting over 4, over 5, 6. It's quite good. And the Galaxy S2, again, my Euro version did quite a bit better than the American version on AT&T. Upload speeds, again, it looks like the Galaxy S2 is a little quicker on upload speeds, not a heck of a lot, but a little bit quicker on upload speeds, but not anywhere near as far as download speeds. Next up, let's run our YouTube comparison. And I'll try and kick these off at the same time. They're both running off the same Wi-Fi network. And they're both set to default to play HQ. Alright, that was definitely the Atrix 2. Let's try one more. We're off. And again, it's the Atrix 2. Give you a look at the displays. Let me do this too while it's running. Alright, there's a look at our YouTube comparison. Alright, next up, your favorite little gaming. We'll start with the Atrix 2. And again, I'm doing this through camera, so expect a lot of that. Alright, and last on the Atrix, Galaxy S2 coming up next. And we're off. I'll turn it up a little bit for you. Well, obviously I can't do two things at once. Alright, let's look at a little gaming on both. Okay, next up, let's do a little navigating. Navigate to Starbucks.
Head north on St. Croix Court, then make a U-turn.
Alright, no problem for the Galaxy S2.
Then make a U-turn.
And no problem on the Atrix 2 as well. Again, it was a little bit longer getting there due to the fact it's the first time I'd fired up navigation on it. Take a look at it in satellite view on both. And redraw is pretty quick. Double tap to zoom in. Pinch to zoom as well. Zoom out a little bit. Little herky-jerky. Again, I've got them running off 4G again instead of Wi-Fi. That seems to handle it pretty well. Let's try the Galaxy S2. It does seem a little bit smoother, a little quicker on the redraw. Double tap to zoom in. No problem. Pinch to zoom. We'll zoom out a little bit. Alright, both of them handle the navigation very well, no issues whatsoever.